also watching, this is welcome to the bonus video. There's two questions that I didn't get to that because I know you want to answer all the questions. Um,
Yeah.
so the one question that I didn't get to was, what does liberation look like to you now, and how do you help others access it?
Liberation looks to me like now it's just standing in who I am and just being the natural, joy-filled, bubbly person I have without the mask. Without that, I am, when I look at the freedom as that, I've always been a truly optimistic person. I've always just been that free, loving, spirited individual, being able to speak my piece, my heartfelt sharing the knowledge that I have, helping people not because we're all gonna go through um certain things in life, but we don't have to go through certain things that are detrimental when someone else knows a easier way or a simpler way, because it's about not working harder, it's about being smarter. So when I look at that, that's the liberation, walking and just being and connecting. Well, you said we're all artists. Well, what do we need to know about that? Some artists, people just look at jobs. Some people are really good at math. Some people are very good at accounts. Some people are great lawyers. It's just being free to connect with what that is for you. So freedom for me, it's unlimited. It just feels great to just be able to speak, to talk, to just share unequivocally, without reservation or hesitation, the true essence of my beingness, whether it's received or not. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no faking it to make it, no pretending to be anything other than that. I know going and being, and doing certain things, there's certain etiquette. Um, and that's cool, but in that etiquette, I don't want to be anything other than me. Warrioress, Ardeshir, like the birds. I just want to be able to share and not be restricted in my giving or my sharing, and most less my speaking, my voice, and to do it in such a way that you can feel me, not just hear me, but that you can feel me. That's my liberation, is to be able to continue to be able to share my voice in a way I've never been able to share it, in a joy-filled, fun-loving way.
How do you help others access that for themselves in the work that you do, or just you being you?
Mostly me being me, and basically having to go within because we've been so indoctrinated. It's helping them to undoctrinate themselves from the world. Once you indoctrinate yourself from the world, there's more of a freedom. I know my mother, even when we talk about people crossing over and we love them in body, I know that she understands. It's just even through conversation. And with one of the poems that I have up under here is all about that freedom, and helping people do that depending on who they are or what they say. I get a lot of stuff from what people say.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really hard to say. When I get to say it, then I get to know it, of how they are restricting themselves and how the world has that hold that doesn't allow us to be uh, the free spirits that we are. We are free spirits. Most people, hey, let me put it to you like this. Not everybody needs a drink, but most people, when they're having, why they call them spirits, is when most people have a little bit of alcohol or wine or something, they get relaxed. Now, you need to do this around people you're comfortable with. But
The
I
spirit
will,
will come for you.
spirits, spirits, when people get relaxed, they normally are in their liberation. They feel freer. They speak their truth that they normally wouldn't speak when they're not, which we need to be able to speak that regardless to having the liquid spirits. But if
Mm.
you partake on them like I do my wine, yeah, just get bubbly. But
What about the people who don't
which
drink?
is
Because
a rarity.
I'm
Well,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
I
saying.
don't drink.
Yeah.
So like,
I was
Someone that's
giving an
specific.
example.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying I'm building upon that. Like what would be another tangible way of doing that?
It's getting still, writing, journaling out, that stuff that's hindering you and seeing it on paper. And most of the time you have a release. And even after journaling, I would say get still and get into the meditation, which is really hard. Even as the spiritual alchemist I am, and I'm still becoming, and even more, getting still is something that is divinely something that needs to be done, and it's a fight to do it. But mostly when you're journaling or after you've written something down, you are sitting and you're already in that space. And then that's where, and then guided meditations help people real good to
Mm,
get into that calm. Even coloring will get you into that relaxed mode.
yeah.
So coloring and doing and oh, essential oils, lavender, if it don't put you to sleep. I kind of am a big peppermint person. Um, I like sage, this particular
Peppermint.
sage in there, and even the herb sage because I eat them, and those are for cleansing. Sage,
Yeah,
aromatherapy,
aromatherapy is a big one. Do you
aromatherapy.
prefer do you prefer sage the scent of sage versus the scent of Palo Santo? Do you know the difference?
Yeah, I haven't done my Palo Santo in a moment. I like the sage, especially this
Mm.
one. It's
I
by
find
Ira.
people tend to like one over the other. I was just curious.
Because there's two types of sage. There's a white sage and another one. Whatchamacallit has them,
Hmm.
but there's this one sage by this one company called Ira or somebody. I like their sage better. And I had, because I can't get it anymore here, I had to pull it off of Amazon. That's the one I like. And I actually have it in my head water. Bless my head this morning. So it's in that water. And 1414. So I like that in that one. The Palo Santos is not bad. Like the ones that get you burned, the like the wood,
Hmm.
that's not bad. And I do like a sage, the little sage is about this round.
Oh, a bundle.
That you burn the bundle. Yeah, burning
Mm.
that is not bad. I'm in a space where I would have to let it burn, and then I would have to shut it off because I don't have a lot of flow in the office here.
Yeah, sage is
But
pretty strong.
strong. So with the
Um,
essential oils, I can have one going in one room, one going in another room,
mm-hmm.
upstairs, downstairs. Um, so it doesn't really matter. The bedroom, one of my favorite places to do that in that arena. So those are some of the things that can definitely ease somebody. I was giving an example because I find that most people, something about spirits and some relaxes people, and we do need to be able to do that, without it. But it's an
Mm,
awareness that I am very aware of and recognize, and that um, to be that freeing and liberated person on a natural level. I'm
yeah,
just
I was
yeah,
just curious your take on it. Last question
appreciate that.
is, and probably the biggest one. Um,
Mm, mm, mm.
what has been your biggest lesson in receiving love, not just giving it? And if you're listening to this point as she processes it, I want to know in the comments down below, like, what's your lesson in love, receiving versus giving?
I guess away from, my mom, like my grandma, great grandma and them, because, at this time that my father was around and things of that nature, except for when it's probably a baby or something, their whole dynamic was not that. So I have given it. So I know you said not just giving it, and I know this question was purposeful.
Yeah,
So
not giving, not giving. We're not talking about
um
giving,
it
talking
has
about the
been
receiving.
it has been a huge challenge to receive it. unfortunately. I recognize it more so. I have been in more allowing of it recently, and also allowing myself to be served. Yesterday was a perfect example because I'm used to helping out doing this thing, and so after our little practice, little session, when they go off with the lines and the tape they put down, I was gonna help, and they were pulling, it was grabbing. He was like, "No, no, no, that's not for you. You are just to just be and let us serve you." And I said, "Okay, I'll pull my military back. I'll pull it back." That's exactly what I said. And I said, "Okay." And I'm gonna allow myself to be loved because I definitely know I know how to give it.
Yeah, you do. You've been a demonstration of that this entire like conversation that we've had. And
So
even just the
yeah,
call to action. You because you've been called to give the love. So I was just
yeah.
curious. I knew this was going to be a challenging question for you to answer.
My biggest lesson in receiving is allowing.
Mm,
Is to allow it. So I have a place that I go here, and I'm loved on across town, and he catches me every now and then, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Like, okay. I'm like, okay. So I'm continuing I'm into and into allowing. I'm into growing into allowing. I'm
okay.
into growing to receive, allowing myself to receive.
Let's flip it here. What's been your biggest lesson in giving love?
Oh wow.
I know she
Ooh,
wasn't expecting this
ooh,
question.
ooh.
Mm,
Sometimes it can be work
mm,
with certain people when it should not be. It should just flow. It should just flow. It should just flow.
mm,
But I give it, and there's other people who receive it very well. Other ones, it's been because it has to go back to unhealed, things that have been unhealed,
mm,
and not being not seeming to be enough in giving that. So I understand that that comes from some things that are unhealed in the other person when giving love on a personal level. But most people giving the essence, and people can see that in you, then if they're not so guarded, then they can receive it not only on the intimate side, but on other means as well. Other aspects of just the energy side, or the receiving side of allowing. Um,
mm,
so, but it's been for me personally, because I think it's the essence of the nature, the essence of my ancestors' nature is it's been easy just to love. I just never understood why we do things, some of the things we do to one another. But we had that is because of experiences, traumatic stuff that's been passed down. But even in that, as I said, I've never allowed the things that happened to me to bitter me. They had other energetic effects I understand now. But last year was a healing adventure in the egg, the harmonic egg, and I'm going to continue to do that energetic work because I'm dealing with people, and to help them understand, how to shift that energy dynamic within, because everything begins within. So when I look at 3 years ago, I look at, this whole thing with my mother dying, this whole thing with family, this whole thing is And sometimes you have to be free just to be you, and sometimes you just have to keep walking. Sometimes you have to walk away. You have to walk away to even honor the love in you, and maybe even that or somebody else, so they can see that there's something that, they need to work on, that they need to work on um in that spec. Sometimes and I know love should not be hard, but when you were dealing with humans, when we're dealing with each other who have um unhealed things within, but you can still be that love so they can see it. That's how you break through. That's how you break through. So, but for me to giving it, that has it's just the nature of who I am. And not only soulfully but spiritually, I'm very conscious of it. I'm very conscious of it. So love is our only solution. And I know we talked about in one of our other episodes what exactly that is. And if people can just get away from what happened to them, because I mean, if I allow what happened to me, I wouldn't know nothing. I somehow, my soul here in evolution has been that of forgiveness. The hardest part is forgiving yourself about what you did not know when you did not know it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so very true.
So yeah, so it's fun, it's enlightening, and when you have this and continue to step into enlightenment, you will definitely be able to be. What the heck just happened? Hold on. What happened?
I don't know because it doesn't look like anything happened on my end.
You can't hear anything?
I can hear you. I can see you.
No, there was something going on my end, and our wow, spirit is really funny. I was hearing a recording of our spiritual teacher, and I was like, what's happened here? I didn't touch anything.
All right, then. On that note,